Hello, friends. Welcome to She SOARs, the podcast for the woman who is on her own transformation journey, and whatever that looks like for you. So, today's episode is going to be all about sharing my story and how I knew I was ready for change. Which, let's be honest, I could probably talk about 15 different stories because I'm always on a journey of change. I feel like I'm always on a journey of transformation and trying to reach the next level in life and break through those glass ceilings that, that those ceilings then become my floor for the next level. So just as a reminder, if you could subscribe, share, rate, and review, because that gives me a more opportunity to help all of you. And I totally made that rhyme and I didn't mean to. So let's dive in. Okay, so when I was sitting down to record this, I had to think about all the different times that I've had opportunities for change. And so what I thought I would focus on is the one, my most recent one, I would say. So from 2019 to 2022, I was working on my doctoral degree. And when I was in it, I did not feel like I was, how do I say this? It didn't feel like my life had changed much. I was busier. Yeah, I was constantly working on something. My Sundays were often spent, writing, doing all the things. But when I was in it, it didn't feel like anything. And as I was coming up to graduation, or as I was coming up to finishing up my research, all that kind of stuff, I started kind of having an identity crisis, I guess you could call it, where I was okay, I'm about to reach this lifetime goal of mine of becoming a doctor. And I'm now what? What do I do next? What do I do? And so during that time, I spent a lot of it, honestly, that first year before I even graduated, I burnt myself out so bad. I was working full time. And then honestly, let's be honest, I was almost working a full-time job on the side at night, and I was exhausted. I was not showing up in the ways that I should have been in all of my different areas of life, because who can balance all of that? Plus be a mom, plus be a wife, plus be a friend, plus do all the things. And then I graduated, and literally the following year, you'd think I'd learned my lesson, but I didn't, and I continued burning myself out and just taking more and more and more on, trying to figure out what is it that I want to do with my life next. And it wasn't until 2023, the end of 2023, that I got sick with COVID for 3 weeks. Now, I had not been sick. I had never gotten sick with COVID. This was my first time since 2020. And I was of course it takes this many years. And I was sick. And of course it was during Christmas time, during all the times that I was supposed to be celebrating with friends. And instead I was laying on the couch for nearly 3 weeks, unable to breathe, coughing, high fever, all of the things. And so when that new year came in 2024, I was I'm done. I'm done taking on more. I'm done trying to balance all of the things. I am going to focus on myself. And I called my year of 2024 as healing. I really needed that year to figure out what the heck I wanted to do with my life, right? I knew I wanted to continue working where I was as an instructional designer because I loved it so much, but I also felt like something else was missing. And part of that is because I went to school to be a teacher. I am a teacher at heart, and helping people and being able to the reason I went into teaching was because I love seeing the light in somebody's eyes when they finally get something. And as an ID, I don't get that as much because I'm more so working with faculty members versus students. And so while I get that a little bit when I'm working and collaborating, I don't get that as often as I would love. And so it honestly, that year, 2024, was exactly what I said, healing. I started working out again. Lost, not intentionally lost weight, but started putting myself first, waking up early, building in time for me. And it allowed me to show up in all different areas of life that I never actually expected. I was a better mom. I was a better friend. I focused on relationships. I didn't focus on more. And I think because of that, I think that right there, that journey of taking a year to just heal and to recognize, I went through a huge life transformation from 2019 to 2022. I got my doctorate and I had to figure out what my next identity was. And so taking that year to really reflect, work with coaches, talk to people, create better relationships, all of those things actually helped me propel into 2025. And I truly believe that that healing journey and that ability to work with other coaches and be able to just have conversations with like-minded women is what helped me like propel myself into 2025. And now I'm in 2025, and let's be honest, I'm still keep taking on more and more and more. But at the same time, I'm doing it with knowledge that like there's certain points when I have to give stuff up if things are no longer aligned. And that's not something that I did before. In the past, I would say yes to everything, regardless if it aligned with where I wanted to go with my next phase, my next identity, my next whatever it was. And so right now what I'm really identifying myself as is like a transformation coach, a community leader, a connector, and I'm drawing upon all of these different things of my personality and who I am right now as a almost 36-year-old and all the life journey and experiences that I've had. And what is amazing about this in 2025 is I'm seeing the growth in myself. And I don't know that I ever really took the time to figure that out before in past transformations. I think as we get older and we become more self-aware and we start reflecting, we start seeing these growth patterns that we never even realized that we were doing. And I think that is such a beautiful part of life, because life's going to have its ups and downs. Like, we're never always going to be perfect. And I preach this. I say this to everybody, progress over perfection. But I've realized within the past year that like, I really try to project this air of perfection, and I hate letting people down, and I hate, showing that I've made mistakes. And this has been a huge journey for me to realize that, like, sure, I did my healing in 2024, but even in 2025, I'm still learning lessons about myself. And I think the reason that I always go through these transformations so much is because I have this fear of like staying the same. Like I get bored really easily, and I hate the idea of being the same person I was 10 years ago than who I am now, because life passes you by, things change you. And if you just get stuck, like life's just going to keep going past you rather than, moving forward. And sure, like on the other side of that glass ceiling, there's that fear of change. There's a fear of feeling different. There's a fear of all of that. But like, I'd rather break through all of that than stay the exact same that I always have been. Like, I'm constantly, if you know me, I am a lifelong learner. I am constantly learning. And I always get this feeling that like, I know I'm made for more. I know I'm supposed to be doing something more with my life than just this. And I think that's what often, like, the signs that I can tell I'm on like a ledge of change is when I start feeling that like itchy feeling inside of me, that where I'm just like, oh, something's not right. Like, something just does not feel aligned. It doesn't feel like where I'm supposed to be next. And I really hope when you go through change, I think every change is different. You're going to go through multiple transformations throughout your life. And like, I remember as a teenager, people always told me like, the person you are in your 20s is not who you're going to be in your 30s. And 100%, 1000% agree with that. And I think that sometimes change takes longer. Sometimes change is super quick. And what I've learned, though, is through that process is having somebody that can hold you accountable, whether that be a coach, whether that be a friend, whether that be a mentor, whatever it might be. But that person can be there. Maybe they're the person who you want to be, who you aspire to be, and then they can help you get over that hump of, I'm not sure where I'm supposed to go next. As well as I think that being able to use journaling, being able to become self-aware, reflection, just really using that downtime. For me, it was a year, this past transformation, where you're really just thinking about things. But don't get stuck in that thinking piece. Like, you also need to be taking action. Because one thing that I learned about myself, and it was a huge lesson for me, was when I'm not taking action, when I am not moving forward, I start breaking promises to myself. Decisions become harder. I get into this analysis paralysis where like I have to second guess every single thing I'm doing. And what that does is now like instead of embracing and making mistakes, I get stuck in this feeling that I have to be perfect. And I think that's really hard for some people. And that's why I think like a coach, a mentor, whatever it might be, is so beneficial for everybody, because they can help you kind of identify those things. Because if you're somebody who isn't self-aware, they're going to be able to call you out on your BS, right? But I think what's amazing through all of this process, though, is that's where like this SOAR method came from. So obviously She SOARs is named after my SOAR method, or my theory of transformation and growth. And it's really based on like my own life experiences. And I would not be where I am today if I didn't have a growth mindset, if I didn't have an open mindset, which by the way is the O, and if I wasn't self-aware, because I have realized how important it is, even just from watching other people, not even going through my own experiences, but also watching other people, how important it is to be self-aware, to recognize, why are you making the decisions that you're doing? Why are you feeling stuck? Why are you in this cycle of perfection? And incorporating that along with then being able to find alignment and recognizing like, this is who I want to be right now. And I say right now because guess what? In 5 years, I'm probably going to be someone completely different. Let's be honest here. And so, but finding alignment and then making decisions that are fully in alignment with who I am, with what my life mission is, what my life vision is, all of those different things. And all of those then using reflection on a daily basis to say, okay, I made this decision. It felt out of alignment. Why? Why did it feel out of alignment? Why did you end up making that decision? Was it because you were trying to help somebody else? Was it because you felt like you had to? Or on the flip side of that, this has felt really good and I loved this decision. So why did that make you feel so good? What about that made you feel that you are in alignment with your life? And that's what like the SOAR method is all about, is being able to put all of that together to then just transform and grow into your next amazing self and break through those glass ceilings. So I challenge you to start thinking about like, how did you know? And if you're on like a precipice or the ledge of a transformation right now, like how do you know you're on that transformation? Do you feel that itchy feeling inside of you? Do you feel like something isn't in alignment, or you feel like something is just like, no matter what you do, you go to sleep and you're like, something is off. Something is just off. And I encourage you to start writing it down, to reach out to somebody, to say like, hey, I'm not feeling in alignment. What can I do? Because being able to have those conversations and start having that self-awareness is how you can start healing, and you can start moving towards the person that you are meant to be on this earth, because you were put on this earth for a reason. And each time you break through that glass ceiling and it becomes your floor, you are bringing up the generations behind you to then break through those glass ceilings even faster. And so my journal prompt for you right now is, so if you take a second after listening to this or watching this, describe a moment in your life when just something deep inside you whispered, this is not it. You know, what did it feel like? What did you want instead? For me, it was, I knew that I wanted to incorporate teaching and coaching into my life again, because I knew that I wanted something more. I wanted to give back. I wanted to be part of volunteering. I wanted to be part of a nonprofit. I wanted to connect people. And that's all of that reflection. I mean, it took years for me to figure that out. It's not going to be you reflect on this and all of a sudden you're like, yay, I'm the next person, right? Like it's going to take time for you to get there. But I encourage you to really reflect on that, and then tag me on Instagram or send me an email. My Instagram is Dr. Blair Stamper. And just let me know, like, how did you know? Or if you need help with anything, just reach out to somebody, a coach, a mentor, somebody that you know can help you take that next step and help you break through that glass ceiling. So, as you know, I am a certified transformation coach, and so I encourage you to book a discovery call if you want to chat. I also have some upcoming events. You can join my email list where I share all of my events that are happening if you are local to Michigan. And I'm just really excited for you to be on this journey with me and listening or watching into this this amazing journey where we can work together and I can share my story and hopefully empower you and encourage you to find who you are supposed to be. And I am so grateful that you are here, and I will see you next time.